Led by Mark Whalen of D32, and the second is Queensland Harmful Association, and third one is Blue Sky Performance Group, and fourth one is Filipino Australian Cultural Entertainment and Brisbane Traditional Chinese Charity Dancing Group, Red Carpet Function, and also Australian Jiangsu Association, and Kusuma Indonesian Community Australian Beijing Club Performance Club, and Bohemian Dream Soul Dance, and Gold Coast Australian China Fashion Show Association. Thank you very much. Can I start with acknowledging Brett Hayes from the Honourable Peter Dutton Office, the Minister for Defence and also the Leader of the House. Can I also acknowledge the Honourable Lut Howard, MP, the Assistant Minister for Youth and Employment Services, Member for Big Tree. And I also acknowledge Senator Paul Scar, the Senator for Queensland, also the Joint Parliamentary Chair of the Australian Commission for the Law Enforcement Integrity. Also acknowledge the Honourable Ian Das, MP, the Minister for Health and Ambulance Services and Member for Redcliffe. And I also acknowledge the Honourable Mark Ryan, MP, the Minister for Police and also the Corrective Services, and the Minister for Fire and Emergency Services and Member for Morefield. Councillor Denise Sim, the Deputy Mayor of the Moulton Bay Regional Council, and Chris Whiting, MP, the Member for Bancroft, and Councillor Mick Gillen, the Councillor for Division 8. Also Councillor Tracy Davis, the Councillor for McDowell Ward, Councillor Sandy Landers, the Councillor for Breckenridge Ward, and Councillor Fiona Hope-Matty, Councillor for Marchant Ward, Councillor Carl Winchester, the Councillor for Division 6, Lisa Crawford, the Regional Director North for the Department of Home Affairs, Councillor Kate Con, the Councillor for Division 9, and Pinky Singh, the President of Punjab Women Welfare Association Australia, and LNP Policy for Migration and Citizenship. John Prescott, the founding president of the Southside United Multicultural Association, and Auntie Peggy Titelman, the Gungari elders, Auntie Brendan Kowalski, the elders from Wagga Wagga, and also Uncle Barry Watson, the elders of Logan, and 2014 nominee for the local hero, the Queensland Australian of the Year, and Carl Wu, the secretary of the Multicultural Queensland Social Network. Auntie Peggy Titelman and Peggy Brendan Kowalski will be doing the acknowledgement of country later on. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't I just bring out all the community leaders. And I also acknowledge Serge Velichenko, the honorary chair of the ECCQ, and Louis Lee, that's myself, I'm the MC, I'm the founding chairman of MQSN. Kenneth Whiten, the former chair of ECCQ and past chair of MQSN, and Surendra Prasad, the president of Fijian Senior Citizen Association of Queensland, and past chair of the MQSN, Peter Lowen, the honorary president of the Queensland Chinese Forum, and honorary president of the Australian Queensland Fujian Association. And Dr. Ram Mohan, the chair of MQSN, Habib Jamal, the president of Islamic Council of Queensland, Alan Cheng, the president of UNIA, Rina Augustin, the president of Red Carpet Function, Gurusha, the board member of MQSN, Ira Putin, the president of the Australian Indonesian Cultural and Welfare Association, Hani Bini, the president of Filipino Variant Fiesta Brisbane, Bob Pele, the director of the Cornerstone Law Office, Rock Stephen, the board member of MQSN, Shen Das, the president of FICQ, Carl Wu, the secretary general again, he's the host, Ben Hu, the president of Brisbane North Chinese Association, Resh Pratak, the president of the Queensland Fiji Football Association, and also from Bendigo Bank, Dr. Noor Kanangraj, the Secretary General of UPF Queensland. Aaron, by the way, Dr. Wal Abdullah, the President of Iraqi Unity Association Queensland. Sherry Well of the Red Cliff Hospital and Royal Brisbane Women Foundation. Also Dr. Assalam Malati, the Islamic Community, the Master of our Sufi Order. Caroline Rusu, the Managing Director of the Caroline Rusu Enterprise. Mr. Wan, the President of Jiangsu Association. Jimmy Wang, the president of LMP Chinese Heritage Branch, Selena Xu, the president of the Sunshine Coast Chinese Association, Stacy Jiang, the president of the Queensland Miao Chinese Association, Professor Fa Wa Liu, the honorary president of Queensland Fujian Association, Lawrence Lee, the head of the Chinese Legal Service and vice president of Australian Jiangsu Association, Peter Zhu Zhen, the president of the SCCEP, Luke Lu, the secretary general of Queensland Chinese Business Association, Simon Tang, the president of Australian Queensland Fujian Association, and also the chairman of the Club 95. Sun Xia, the president of Queensland Hong Kong Association, Anna Feng, the president of the Gold Coast Australian China Fashion Show Association, Ying Liu, the president of the Traditional Chinese Performance Group, Jiang Li, the president of the Arts and Culture Federation, Sunshine Coast, Ma Xi, the president of the Northwestern Chinese Association Queensland, Vic DQ, the secretary of the Sunshine Coast Chinatown Development Multicultural Community and Sunshine Coast City Multicultural Advisor, Laura Fu, the president of Queensland Writers Association, Hong Yan, the president of Zhujian French Association, William Yan, the founding president of the Australian Jiangsu Association, Celine Xi, the executive president of ICCQ, Harry Wong, the honorary president of the Lions Club of United Asia, John Low, the president of the Ost Oriental Incorporated, Joyce Liu, the president of the British Backyard Multicultural Community Association, also Sylvia Liu, from Dongbei Chinese Association, Tim Liu, the president of Australian Dongbei Chinese Association, and Da Xianxie, the president of APSCA, Jing Ronglin, and also Xing Rong Liu, the honorary president of Sunshine Coast Chinatown Development Multicultural Committee, Jing Gao, the president of the Tianjin Association, and Xiang Yu Liu, the honorary president of Arts and Culture Federation of Sunshine Coast, Dr. Zhang Xia, the president of the Beijing Club, and also Dr. Hong Si, the president of Queensland Chinese Doctor Association, Chen Fan, the president of the Mainland Chinese Society of Queensland, Jack Wu, the vice president of the Australian Chongsang United Association, Cindy Zhao, the president of the Australian Beijing Business and Art Council, Harry Zhao, the past director of Tongcheng, Adrian Weniguat Gao, the community development officer and multicultural of the Moreton Bay Regional Council, Bennett Raphael, the president of the Multicultural Association of Capuchin and Surround, City Constable, vice president of Multicultural Association and Capuchin and Surround, Lisa Miller, the coordinator of the NPRC CANS program, and Mina Houston, the president of Filipino Australian Cultural Entertainment Incorporated, Harry He, the president of the Blue Sky Choir, and Jenny Gao, the director of Chinese Embroidery Arts Museum, Hai Chunjiang, the past president of Sino Music Group, DC Moretti, the president of the Filipino Australian Christian Society, No Hirano, the president of the Japan Community of Queensland, Zhu He Park, the president of the Southside United Multicultural. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and all, if I miss out anyone, I take full responsibility. This list is provided by Carl, so I just read this out, but I have to take full responsibility for it if I make any mistake. Ladies and gentlemen, there is certain dignitary I want them to come to the stage. One is the Honorable Luke Howard MP. If you can come to the stage. If I don't read out your name, do not come to the stage. Senator Paul Sky, if you can come to the stage, please. Honorable Yuen Daff, the Health Minister, don't think she is here. The Honorable Mark Ryan MP, Councillor Denise Sim, Chris Whiting MP, Councillor Mick Gillen MP, Councillor Tracy Davis, Councillor Sandy Landis, Councillor Fiona Homat, the Councillor Carl Winchester, the Lisa Crawford, Councillor Kate Tom, Tinky Singh, John Prescott, Auntie Peggy Titeman, Auntie Brendan Gorfowski, and Uncle Barry Watson, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, the name that I read out just now, if you can come to the stage. But before we do that, we will ask Auntie Peggy and Auntie Brendan to do the acknowledgement of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Auntie Peggy Titeman and Auntie Brendan. Where are they? They're somewhere at the back. Auntie Peggy was born Mitchell. Mitchell is about 568 kilometers from Brisbane. He is the renowned Gungari elders. And then Auntie Brendan lives somewhere around here. She just told me that she lives in the north. We live at south side. Ladies and gentlemen, I hand over to Auntie Peggy Titleman.
Thank you very much, Lewis. I won't go through the list of names that Lewis has just read, but I do want to acknowledge everyone that is here today. I want to begin by first of all acknowledging the traditional owners of this country, this land, on which we are gathered today. The Turrbal people. I also acknowledge other groups that have crossed this country and shared in celebrations such as we have here today. So I want to acknowledge the Yugambeh language group who are south of the Logan River. I acknowledge the Yagara people, Jagara and Yugarapul people north of the Logan River, and also acknowledging our elders that are here with us today. So I want to acknowledge Auntie Brenda and also Uncle Barry. So as elders, we have cultural responsibilities. Whenever we come onto somebody else's country, we have to acknowledge who the traditional owners are, because they have walked this country for over 60,000 years. We are here today just walking in their footsteps. So we must acknowledge that we are on somebody else's land and we are visitors here. We are just passing through. I also want to acknowledge Auntie Brenda and Uncle Barry, who I have known for quite some years. And as elders, we are always very busy in our community as well. I also want to acknowledge Mark for his performance, and also, what's his name? Okay. I also acknowledge our young fella here too, because it is always about teaching our young people about culture, and that's what we must do. I must acknowledge and pay respects to elders of all cultures. All of the cultures that we have seen here today that have brought with them their culture, their language, and their people. And this is very critical for you to be able to pass this on to your family, pass it on to your descendants, just as it is for us. So we ask that you embrace our culture, just as we embrace yours. I also must acknowledge Sorry Business. And when I acknowledge Sorry Business, it is a time when we remember our loved ones who have gone before us, who have fought the battles, who have survived, so that we can enjoy what we have today. I am a Gungari descendant, and I come from a place called Mitchell in southwest Queensland. On my father's side, I am Gungari and I am Chinese. I have Chinese heritage. On my mother's side, I am Gujarat and I have Afghani heritage. So I am multicultural, just as you are. And it's always a pleasure to come to these events with the Brisbane North Chinese Association, because I am a member of the Multicultural Association for Queensland. And I share my culture. I'm very proud to share my culture with each and every one of you. As I said, these festivals that we have today, we also have celebrations, especially the Bunya Festival. So many of our people would pass through this part of country on their way north towards the Glasshouse Mountains and up to the Bunya Mountains, where we would have celebrations and we would have dance, we would have song and food, and we would be sharing all of the things that have happened in our part of the country. So today we are doing similarly to that. also say thank you to Lewis Lee, who is my brother. He's my Chinese brother, and we do look alike. But Lewis and I have always respected each other, just as I respect Carl and others for coming together, bringing this event together so that we can celebrate today. So I want to congratulate the organisers, and I want to wish you all a happy Harvest Moon Festival. Thank you.
So thank you, Auntie Peg. Today, as usual, I want to pay my deep respects to those from Amoy, my great-grandpops, Providence, who came here in the 1800s. I still get emotional. And he worked as a shepherd at Gayndah, and that's where he met my great-great-grandma. So together they had 16 children. And so I'm very proud that I come from two very, very ancient histories. And I'm learning that we have such similar cooking experiences, working, carrying little sugar bags for our tucker. And I look at photos, thinking every photo there could be my grandpa. And I want to thank Carl, the busy little man. He's not listening. I want to thank you, Carl. Carl had an activity last weekend at Slacks Creek, which Aunt Peggy and I enjoyed immensely. And we don't often see him. He's like a butterfly. So, Carl, you have worked tirelessly and effortlessly within the week from last week to this activity today. I only wish I had your energy. A man of many talents, Carl is. He came to my house and he cut the hedges. Very hot day, I might add. And he was part of the care army when COVID first began last year, 2020. So he, like all elders, we work hard and we love to see the fact that you all teach your little Gunnery children as role models. I want to actually say thank you to our didgeridoo player. Oh my gosh, he's a younger man and he's up and coming running, and he has a son that is also right beside Dada, and they will grow and grow and grow, and that way our children make sure that our culture's not lost and nor is our history. Thank you, Shishi.
Jingy Wallo Wallo Jin. Good morning and welcome to everyone. Also, my wife is a Torres Strait Islander, so I'd like to pay respect to them as well by welcoming you. Mayam Nakomanali. My name's Uncle Barry Watson and I'm also a community elder. I'm proud to stand here with my two sisters and welcome you all here to the Turrbal land. Turrbal land runs from the North Pine River to the Brisbane River and from the coast to the foothills of the mountain range. On our north side we have the Waka Waka people, Gubby Gubby people, and on the south we have the Yuggera people, and we pay respect to all of those people. Brisbane, the Aboriginal name for Brisbane we call Meanjin, which means the place of the blue water lilies. And this morning, it's so good to be here. Thank you, Carl, for inviting us and putting First Nation people first. So I'm proud to follow the didgeridoo as we move around this lovely grasslands here today. Every one of us, no matter where we come from, we celebrate our culture. Culture is made up of our heritage, our ancestry, where we come from, our traditions, the things that we do in our daily life, our customs, but also mainly our culture incorporates dress, language, dance, music, religion, art, and celebrations. And today we're here to celebrate the Moon Festival. So on behalf of the Aboriginal people of Southeast Queensland, we welcome you here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Barry Watson and Auntie Brenda Kowalski and Auntie Peggy Titleman for your wonderful acknowledgement of the country, and Mark Williams Jr. Yeah, you can take a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, next I would like to ask Mr. Carl Wu, the host and also the Secretary General of the Multicultural Queensland Social Network, also the founding president of Brisbane North Chinese Association. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Carl Wu. Thank you, Mark Williams, for your didgeridoo. We have to wait for Mark Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by acknowledging traditional custodian of this land where we hold the event today. I pay the respect to ancestors, adults past, current, and emerging. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Harvest Moon, the festival. My name is Carl Wu. I'm the coordinator of this event. And this event is proudly brought to you by the Brisbane North Chinese Association and Multicultural Queensland Social Network. We thanks to the Queensland State Government and Moreton Bay Regional Council for the strong support to this event. As you know, as you may know, in Moreton Bay region, a quarter of the people are migrants. They came from the different countries, came from the 184 countries. And there are about 157 languages to be used in this region. We do need a chance to bring the every people together, share the culture and share the experience. And the most important thing is we can stand together and we work together as one entity, as a so-called Australia. So the Harvest Moon Festival is the second most important traditional festival in China. But actually it has been celebrated by many Southeast Asian countries. But today we hold this event not only to celebrate with the Southeast Asian country, but as I say, the very important thing is that we bring the every people together and we merge it into Australia, the mainstream. So that's very important, especially that during this special time, we work together overcoming it's COVID-19 pandemic. So Thank you the every people. Thank you the VIP the coming to the support us. Please join the show. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Mr. Cao. Next official speech, we would like to invite the Honorable Luke Howard MP, the Assistant Minister for Youth and Employment Services, also the member for Petrie. He's also representing the Honorable Peter Dutton, the Minister for Defence, and also the Leader of the House. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Honorable Luke Howard MP.
Well, thank you very much, Lewis. Thank you, Carl. Thank you to the Brisbane North Chinese Association and the multicultural community here in Queensland. As Lewis said, my name is Luke Howard, Federal Member for Petrie and Assistant Minister for Youth and Employment Services in the Morrison Government. I'm really pleased to be here today, not just representing the government, but also the Honourable Peter Dutton, Minister for Defence, and Member for Dixon, who's unable to be here today. My sincere thanks to the festival organisers for inviting me to speak, and also thank you as well to the Welcome Country, and I too want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Turrbal people, past and present, and any Aboriginal and Torres Strait holders that are here today. In the past, obviously, I've been to many Harvest Moon festivals. I've had quite a few here now, and it's always a great event. I want to thank all the men and women in traditional dress as well, and thank you everyone that's organised this today. It's great to see so many of you under the marquees here, and to the sponsors as well, to the council, the state government, and all the other sponsors, and to all the food vans and everyone that come here today. Thank you for being here. As your federal MP, as a member for Petrie, I'm really excited about the growth of the multicultural community, not just in my own electorate, but in the Moreton Bay Regional Council and North Brisbane. Because multicultural people from all faiths and all walks of life and other countries that come here, they play a very significant role. They have, what I've found amongst the multicultural people, and particularly the Chinese community, is that they have a great work ethic. They provide jobs not just to people that have moved here, but to all Australians. And as someone who's heavily involved in employment services, that's really important to me. Can I also say to the youth that are here today, everyone that's aged between 15 and 25, you make up 15% of the Australian population and 15.7% of the Queensland population. And with 3 sons that are all in that age group as well, that are 15, 17 and 19, we really value your contribution as youth to Australia. And as the Assistant Minister for Youth, I'll be hanging around, but I'd love to have a chat to you afterwards if you've got anything you'd like to talk about. So, well done to everyone. It's great to be part of the Harvest Moon Festival today, and I wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you, the Honourable Lord Howard. We've got some gift. The Australian or the Chinese Australian War Memorial Committee have a medallion we want to give to Lord Howard, the Honourable Lord Howard MP, presented by Cao Wu. That project is to honour past and present of the Australian and the Chinese in the defence for Australian Defence Forces. The establishment of the committee was started in 2009. We got bursary to the local school, a few local south side. Ladies and gentlemen, next we would like to invite a Senator Paul Scar. Senator Paul Scar is also the Senator for Queensland. He's also the Parliamentary Chair for the Australian Commission for the Law Enforcement Integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Scar, please.
Thank you, Lewis. If I can acknowledge the traditional owners and pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging, and if I can just give a warm thanks from the bottom of my heart to Auntie Peggy, Auntie Brenda and Uncle Barry for that beautiful welcome and acknowledgement they provided to us. Harvest Moon Festival is about giving thanks to the harvest, giving thanks that we can all come together and share the fruits of that harvest. And we have so many things to be thankful for in our beautiful country of Australia. And one of those things is our Australian Chinese community. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Cao Wu and the Brisbane Chinese North Association for the wonderful effort in terms of putting on this festival today. I spoke to some of the volunteers who've been here from 6 a.m. preparing for the festival. So thank you. I'd also like to thank all the other multicultural leaders who are attending the festival. And this is one of the special things about Australia. When our multicultural communities put on a festival and do things such as this, celebrations such as this, all the different communities come together to support each and every other community. And we have a lot to be thankful for. And lastly, before I hand back to our wonderful MC, Lewis Lee, I want to give thanks to the people who made the mooncake, which I had earlier today. And can I say, if you haven't had a taste of the mooncake yet, please do so. It's absolutely delicious. Thank you very much. It's an honour to be here with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Paul Scar, Senator for Queensland. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished the federal level, now it's a state level. We got the Honourable Mark Ryan. Ladies and gentlemen, next speaker is Minister for Police and Emergency Service, also the member for Morayfield. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honourable Mark Ryan MP, who just come 1 second ago. Let's start on time.
And I didn't have to come by helicopter either, Lewis. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here. And can I join the previous speakers in acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. And in the connection with that ancient land which we call home, Australia, I acknowledge that there's many traditions we're celebrating today. We're celebrating, of course, being connected to the ancient lands through the Indigenous First Nation people of this nation, but we're also celebrating tradition today with the Harvest Moon Festival. So it's great to be here and great to celebrate. Can I acknowledge all of these people? And it goes without saying, it's wonderful to see so much support for this event. So much support for community coming together. But I did want to particularly highlight Carl Wu for not only being the driving force behind this, but for every year after year, making sure that we can celebrate and can come together. It's a fantastic opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, there's many speakers, and of course we all want to acknowledge this festival, the Harvest Moon Festival, but I think the most important thing we should celebrate today is the ability to come together. Come together in community, come together in harmony, come together to celebrate all the great fruits in our lives, which is actually one of the underlying principles around Harvest Moon, being able to come together and celebrate. So, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your day today. Thank you very much for joining this celebration. Well done to the organisers. I hope you all have a good day. And unlike Senator Scar, I'll just have the mooncake in moderation, just only a little bit.
Thank you, the Honourable Mark Ryan, the member for Morayfield and also Minister for Police and Emergency Services. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished the state level or the official speech, now it's a local level. Can I invite Councillor Denise Sim, the Deputy Mayor for Moreton Bay Regional Council. Ladies and gentlemen, Councillor Denise Sim.
Thank you so much. What a fantastic MC Lewis is. I think another round of applause for the MC. He's doing a fantastic job. And also to Carl, thank you so much, for the Secretary of the Association. Thank you for allowing us to share in this fantastic day. I mean, I look at all the beautiful traditional dresses and you look absolutely stunning. And I want to thank you for going to all that trouble so that we can help share in your culture. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners and aunties and uncles. Thank you so much for that delivering for that wonderful welcome to country. My fellow councillor, Councillor Mickleham, who you will hear from soon, he's going to do the opening. We've also got our federal, state MPs and also some other councillors here as well, so thank you so much for coming. Unfortunately, our Mayor, Peter Flannery, could not make it today. He does send his apologies. But there's one thing that Peter is, the Mayor's very passionate about, and that's about supporting community, and that's why Council got behind this and financially supported this lovely festival. What a fantastic festival where the Harvest Moon, where it's at its brightest, and the unification of family and bringing together, but also the Thanksgiving that the Senator has already spoken about. We are so thankful that we have food in our stomach and a roof over our head. But also the diversity of culture, and diversity is nothing without inclusion, and look at the amount of cultures that are here, the traditional dresses, and I can't wait, being part Samoan, to taste all the food. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you very much, Councillor Denise Singh. Ladies and gentlemen, we finished the official speech. Now we got supplementary speech. We want each and every one on the stage to say a few words, including Brett Hayes. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't I start from the left, can I have Councillor Sandy Landers, please?
Thank you, Lewis, and it's so lovely to be here, and I agree with Denise to have multicultural community coming together. And being the councillor of Bracken Ridge Ward, we get to enjoy this beautiful area and Moreton Bay Regional Council as well. And I'm so glad that we were able to have this and that it went ahead. I hope that you enjoyed today, and I also hope all of the students have a wonderful holiday. This is actually a great way to start that and celebrate the end of what has been a very successful term. So enjoy the day. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Councillor Sandy Landers. Ladies and gentlemen, now I ask Councillor Tracy Davis to say Councillor from the Madao Ward.
Well, thank you so much, Lewis, and thank you so much for the invitation to come along here today. Can I acknowledge Carl Wu? Carl came to us very early on to talk about his vision for this wonderful festival, and it's going from strength to strength. It's wonderful to be here with Councillor Sandy Landers. Both Sandy and I are Lord Mayor's representatives for multicultural affairs. That's how important the multicultural community is to Brisbane City Council, and I very much look forward to working with the multicultural community on ways that we can make things even better in Brisbane City Council. Whilst we're here in Moreton Shire, and thank you very much for the hospitality, Denise, we certainly are very grateful to the multicultural community for what you give to the broader community. So enjoy the day, and I look forward to meeting up with you, if not today, at other events across the city. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Councillor Tracy Davis. Now can I ask Chris Whiting, MP, the member for Bangrove. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Whiting, MP, please.
Thank you very much, Lewis. Thank you, Carl. Well done there. I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand today and the generations of elders, past, present and future. Can I congratulate Brisbane North Chinese Association and the organisers of this festival, which not only celebrates diversity, but makes sure that we live it. It's included in everything we do every day. And that's, for us, is one of the important things about diversity, making sure that we live it in our workplaces every day, in our households, in our schools, and also our community associations. Our diversity is a real strength. It's the strength of Queensland now, and a real strength into our future. And for everyone who's come from everywhere all around the world to be part of our community, thank you for what you bring to our community and the way that you will strengthen and improve it now and all in the years to come. Enjoy the Harvest Moon Festival. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Whiting, the member for Bangrove. Ladies and gentlemen, now I ask Anthony Shorten, used to be the past member for Algester, now representing Councillor Fiona Hammond. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Shorten, please.
Well, thank you very much, Lewis, and can I just say it's an honour to be asked to represent Councillor Fiona Hammond, the Brisbane City Councillor for Marchant Ward. The Harvest Moon Festival is so very, very important to many communities across our great state and across our great cities. Can I just congratulate Carl Wu and all the volunteers who have gone to great efforts to make this event happen today. Can I just suggest it's beautiful, beautiful weather, and we're so lucky to be able to come together and celebrate this wonderful festival. Keep up the water, don't get too hot, and stay in the shade if you can. Have a great festival on behalf of Councillor Fiona Hammond.
Thank you, Anthony Shorten. Ladies and gentlemen, now I ask Mr. Brett Hayes. He's from the office of the Honourable Peter Dutton, the Minister for Defence and also Leader of the House, member for Dixon. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Hayes, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. Unfortunately, Peter is unable to attend today. He's requested that I attend on his behalf, offer his apologies for being unable to attend. Peter wishes me to express his appreciation for this wonderful event and also to those organisers, especially Carl as well. I think most people have mentioned Carl for this, and again for this extraordinary event, and to extend his kindest regards to you all. Just thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to ask Lisa Crawford, the Regional Director North, which is including Queensland and Northern Territory, the Department of Home Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Crawford, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me to here today. I'd like to also acknowledge the traditional custodians, Auntie Katie, Auntie Brenda, Uncle Barry, and also Mark Williams and Mark Williams Jr. I'm not sure that is his name, but for the moment it is. Thank you very much for your generosity in sharing your culture. Every time we hear from you, we learn a lot, and it makes a difference to everyone who hears from you. So thank you very much. Thank you to Carl for pulling this event together. Another incredible job. Your commitment to community is amazing, and we are very lucky to be here today. To our multicultural leaders, I've seen a lot of you this weekend. You really put in a lot to your communities also, so thank you very much. And to our incredible dancers that we're waiting here to see today, we look forward to an amazing day. And thanks to Lewis for being, as always, a fabulous MC.
Thank you, Lisa Crawford. Ladies and gentlemen, the important part now. Can we ask Mick Gillen from the Moreton Bay Regional Council to do the opening now? Ladies and gentlemen, Mick Gillen will say a few words, please.
Thank you, Lewis. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all here to Pine Rivers Park and the Bryce Amphitheatre in beautiful Division 8 in Moreton Bay region. The only thing wrong with being the last speaker is everyone else has said everything. But what I would really like to do is for you all to put your hands together for Carl. I think he's got my PA on speed dial. We get a phone call or an email from him just about every day in the lead up to this, and the amount of work that this man has done to get this going today is absolutely marvellous. So please give Carl a big hand. Now, council spends millions of dollars building this and maintaining this, and the reason for that is so that we can hold celebrations like this. So it's fantastic to see everybody here today. Now, yesterday we had our citizenship ceremonies up at Moray Field, and we welcomed just over 360 new Australians from, I think it was 47 different countries from every continent around the world except Antarctica, of course. And one of the things that we told them is we welcome you coming here to Australia because you're bringing your heritage, your culture, and especially your food with you when you come. So don't forget all those things. We want you to be Australians, we want you to join in, but please remember all your heritage and culture. So welcome today, and welcome to this beautiful facility, and I now, Lewis, declare the Moon Worship Ceremony open.
Thank you, Mick Gillen. We do a group photo before I hand over to MC Jim. Come over. We need to have a group photo. Come over. Come closer. Just listen to Derek. Chinese is 神仙, English is Derek. Thank you very much. By the way, we are just on time. Before I hand over to Jim, there is a HMS set a fundraising stall for Redcliffe Hospital and Royal Women Brisbane Hospital Foundation. They encourage attendees to buy raffle for $5 for one, $10 for three, $15 for five, and $20 for eight. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I hand over to Master of Ceremony, Jim and the oration. Rita Kirsten, I hand over to you. Thank you very much.